People of the state of Michigan versus Jewell Jones.
The state representative and auxiliary police officer from Inkster, now a defendant, charged with driving drunk with a gun in his car and resisting and obstructing police along I-96 in Livingston County on April 6th.
Clearly he's overcharged. Clearly the police abused their discretion here and they used excessive force on Mr. Jones.
That's defense attorney Ali Hammoud. State police had said Jones crashed into a ditch on April 6th, but video from state police arriving on scene shows that Jones's Tahoe is on the side of the highway. An ambulance parked behind it with his female passenger inside. Jones is seen talking to a paramedic, showing him his badge. The paramedic nudges Jones away from him as police walk up. And then there's this.
Right now, I want your ID and your driver's license. Okay?
I can't do that. The only reason.
Don't tense up.
I'm tensing up.
Don't tense up.
Michigan State Police troopers seen on dash cam taking Jones to the ground. Actions his attorney says were excessive and unnecessary.
They can't just say, give me your ID or we're going to arrest you. And when Mr. Jones declined to do so, which is everyone's right, this is when they wrestle him to the ground and they tase them, they mace them.
Prosecutors say the 26-year-old Jones had a blood alcohol level twice the legal limit, and he had driven drunk for 50 miles from Southfield to Fowlerville. Other drivers calling 911 to report him driving on the shoulder. Michigan Information and Research Services revealing the redacted portions of this report say when paramedics arrived on scene, the female passenger had her pants down and was vomiting and unresponsive. Jones' pants were partially down. Sheriff's deputies were dispatched to help state police arrest Jones.
The defendant's behaviors were reported to be so serious that they had escalated to a point that the troopers had to tase and pepper spray the defendant.
But Hammoud says it was the troopers whose behavior was out of line.
I do believe him being a black person in Livingston had something to do with the stop. If this was a white state representative, if this was a white person, I don't know if the situation would have been handled differently. Something happened that day to Mr. Jones because of the color of his skin.
Meantime, Jones remains free on personal bond, but suspended from his duties as a volunteer officer with Inkster Police. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, when asked about the situation on this day, declining to discuss it.
I don't have much to comment other than I know that the investigation is proceeding.
House Democratic leader Donna Lisinski telling Fox 2, quote, "These are serious charges. It's important to let the investigation proceed and the legal process play out so all the facts can come to light," end quote. That legal process scheduled to continue at his next hearing on June 30th. In Southfield, Amy Lang, Fox 2 News.